Okay, Diabetes family, welcome back to another edition to Diabetes Kitchen. So today we are going to make something special. We're making a cauliflower pizza. And then the first thing we're going to do is take 2 heads of cauliflower. We're going to cut them into 4s. And then we're going to peel off the florets. With the florets, we're going to cut the small florets or the bigger florets into 4s so they can fit into the food processor. Make sure you cut those stems off, people. Now, before I was diagnosed with diabetes, pizza was one of my favorite things to eat. I mean, one of my favorite things to eat. But then when I got diagnosed, I had to figure out a different way to enjoy this wonderful treat. So I did some research and I found this recipe. So I am sharing this wonderful recipe with each and every one of you. And now that we have our florets cut, voila, we're done. So we're not going to use the lower blade. We are going to use the top blade. And the reason we're not using the lower blade is because we do not want cauliflower mash. We want it to be extra airy. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Now that we got the food processors engines running, we are going to start adding the cauliflower florets. So notice in the beginning when I said no bottom blade and keep it on the top blade. Well, the top blade is going to give it that nice airy type of look. And this is the look that we are going to need, the texture that we're going to need. Now, I know this is a lot of cauliflower. You don't have to use all of it necessarily. You can freeze it and save it for later, but I'm going to use the whole thing. Now, I want you guys to take a look at the texture. This is the texture that we are looking for. This is the goal that we are trying to reach to make this pizza. Now, we're going to add it into a microwavable safe type of container, and then we are going to add this to the microwave. Now, I know you guys are thinking, Percy, why add this to the microwave? Well, it's going to generate more moisture for us to squeeze out. So as you guys can see, it is about 8 cups of cauliflower. Again, you guys don't necessarily have to use 8 cups, but at this point, I'm going to be using 8 cups. Now I'm going to add this to the microwave. And I am going to put it in the microwave for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now that we got it out of the microwave, don't be an eager beaver. You guys gotta let it chill for about 5 to 10 minutes because I don't want you guys to burn your hand, come back to me and say, yo, Percy, man, I burned my hand. Now, while your cauliflower is on chill mode, we are going to get our cheesecloth ready. Now, you can use a regular dishcloth, but I would prefer a cheesecloth because it's nice and thin and it gets the moisture out and we know it's clean. So we are going to add our freshly chilled cauliflower onto the cheesecloth. Now, at this moment, I had to do it into 2 sections because it was just too much for the cheesecloth. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it up, give it a nice little spin. And then I am going to squeeze all of the liquid inside of a container. Now, when you feel that you can't squeeze anymore, squeeze some more. We want to get as much moisture out of this cauliflower as possible. So as you guys can see, we are at the point where we are done squeezing all the moisture out, and we produced a nice little puddle here. I'm not going to drink it. Cauliflower water is disgusting. So we're going to open up our cheesecloth, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We have a nice ball of dry cauliflower. Well, not dry, but it's drier. And this is the look that we are going for. Now that we got the cauliflower to the consistency that we want, we're going to grab a medium-sized bowl and we're just going to crumble it up. and then we're going to start adding our ingredients. This is the fun part, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been waiting for. So what we have is we have some dried up oregano. Well, it's an Italian blend. So we're going to do like 1/4 of a cup of the Italian blend, and then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese, of course, because we want our crust to be nice and cheesy as well. And then we're going to add a cup of almond flour. And then we have our milled egg that's going to be added to the bowl as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready to get your hands dirty, because this is the fun part. This is the part that you can do with your kids, involve your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is fun. We're just going to mash everything together, all of our ingredients to our liking. And yes, make sure you clean your hands after this step, ladies and gentlemen. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get some parchment paper, and we're going to get our pizza pan. If you don't have a pizza pan, don't panic, don't trip. We got you. Just use like a regular pan. It'd be fine. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. I'm just being super extra, and I'm trying to get it in to be a perfect circle. Now, if you're looking for a pan like this, you can go on to Amazon, or you can go to any store like Target. We'll have it as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to start from the middle, and we are going to push everything to the outside so we can get the form that we are looking for, and just keep moving it around, twisting it around. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's fun. But what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that we get a nice formidable circle. So it's thick on the outside and pretty thin on the inside. And as you can see, we got the form that we are looking for, and we're just going to take our thumb and our fingers, and we're just going to pinch the sides to get that nice crust, so it keeps everything on the inside when you add your toppings. Now that we got the form that we're looking for, we are going to put this into the oven for 25 minutes and let that cook, and then we'll go on to the next step while it is cooking. Okay, family, it is time to make the pesto sauce. Now, you can do whatever type of sauce that you want for this pizza, but for this show and this episode, we're going to do a pesto sauce. Now, for those who know me really well, pesto is my jam. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But yeah, I love pesto. So these leaves actually came from my garden. Can you believe that? I didn't have to buy these. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me up to my next point. We want to make sure that we cook with fresh ingredients. Fresh ingredients makes the difference. Trust me, people. So we're going to add about 5 cloves of garlic and a handful of pine nuts added to the food processor. And then we're going to pop the top, and we're going to give it a nice little blend. And what we're going to do is we're going to pulsate it just for a little bit, just to get it nice and chopped up. Yo, I cannot tell you how fresh and wonderful this smells. I mean, the aroma is just amazing. So we're going to add olive oil to the food processor as the food processor is going, just to get the consistency that we are looking for. And this is the carnage that is left over from everything that I have picked, pulled, and grabbed and added to the food processor. These are in the ingredients, and voila, we have pesto the way we want pesto. I'm telling you, people, pesto on pizza is the move. So we're going to add the pesto to our container, and we're just going to put it off to the side because we're just not done yet. This next step is I am going to make the toppings, and my toppings are just basic. You can be creative with your toppings. You don't have to necessarily go this route, but this is what I like on my pizza, and this is what's actually good for me. So what I'm going to do is I chopped up some garlic. I'm going to add some olive oil to a pan, and then I'm going to add the garlic to the pan to give it a nice saute. Now we're going to cook our garlic on medium heat. We're just going to move it around, make sure it gets nice and translucent. And the only way you'll know is if the kitchen starts smelling amazing. You feel me? So yeah, we're going to make sure it is nice and translucent before we add our spinach. And this is basically going to flavor, give this spinach the flavor of. Now that our garlic is nice and cooked and smelling amazing, we are going to add our spinach. And what we're going to do is we are just going to make sure the spinach just gets welted down. That's it. We're not going to overcook it. We're just going to make sure it just welts down so we can later on add this to our pizza. And as you can see, this is looking great. The color is looking amazing. The smell is just off the charts. I mean, you guys, you really have to try this recipe. And when you do, make sure you hit your boy up on Instagram, Certified Diabetes, and on Facebook, Diabetes79. So now that we got our pizza out of the oven, we are going to do the fun part, and that is add our pesto. And we're going to make sure we get pesto on every inch of this pizza. And once the pesto gets to our liking and nice and filled up, we're just going to take the back of our spoon and just smooth everything out. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, like I said before, I'm extra. And then we are going to add our vegan cheese. Now, if you're not into the vegan thing, that's cool. Just add regular cheese. You know what I'm saying? This recipe is very versatile. And then we're going to add our spinach with our garlic. I mean, yo, if you guys don't try this, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, man, but this recipe is amazing. You feel me? And then we are going to add our mushrooms. Now, you could pre-cook your mushrooms before you add it. I'm just adding them raw just like this, and then let the oven take care of what it needs to take care of. And then, of course, I'm going to add my chili flakes just like that there. And we're going to put it into the oven after we're done. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, 5-10 minutes later, we got pizza on deck. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time to cut up this wonderful, delicious treat and enjoy with our families. So I'm just going to say this, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure dealing with you guys. And don't forget to tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. And also, if you eat good, you live good, and you feel good. And before I let you go, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time and watching my channel. And don't forget to smash that like button if you got some game from this. Anyways, I'm out this. Peace.